February 18th. I feel quite awful today, physically but especially mentally. So indulge me as I do what I try to get you to do. Meditate on a word. In this case, it's property. It has no connection to how I feel. I'm just strange, and exploring how to move beyond what's considered settled makes me feel alive. Some of my social media biographies included, while at other places the character limit prevented me from mentioning it, but one of my degrees is in law, with an accidental minor in economy. Well, I supported a friend who dropped out of law school to join the economy department when she didn't want to go to class alone. I collected all the credits she didn't and switched to cultural science. She aced in that, so all is well. Anyway, in the very first class of Intro to Public Law, the prof asked the students in the auditorium what the problem with public property is. To his surprise, I responded correctly. The problem with public property is that no one feels personally responsible for it, and thus we treat it far more careless than personal property. In reality, though, I couldn't have expressed a more European-centered thought than this one. Much evidence points to the fact that this understanding of property is even in Europe rather recent, considering the thousands and thousands of years humans have already roamed the earth. It goes back to Roman law. In Roman law, there are three basic rights relating to possession. Usus, the right to use. Fructus, the right to enjoy the products of a property, for example, the fruit of a tree. And abusus, the right to damage and destroy. If one has only the first two rights, usus and fructus, like Elisa or renter today, this was called usufruct, and even in Roman times this wasn't considered full ownership. The defining feature of true legal property, then, is that one has the option of not taking care of the property or even destroy the property at will. This was a truly new concept. Before and everywhere else, even afterwards, ownership usually always carried a double meaning of domination and care. To be without an owner was to be unprotected and exposed. You could be destroyed without an owner. More often than not, the true owner of a land was said to be God or the spirits, whereas mortal spirits like us, the humans, were mere squatters, poachers, and at best caretakers. So where did the idea of secular private property come from that is seen today as almost an untouchable fact of natural law? From the Second. The gods and spirits had the right to not take care and even destroy their creation. And those things related to them and their rituals had always been the exclusive property of whoever had been entrusted with the stories, songs, dances, relics, patterns, and so on, which they protected by secrecy, deception, and often even by the threat of violence. Roman law, that was rather exclusive in who could even hold ownership rights, simply turned certain human beings into gods or godlike figures. As a result, something odd happened in European social thought. We take this absolute sacred quality of private property and apply it to all human rights and freedoms. We own not just things exclusively, but our body too. The political scientist C.B. Macpherson calls this possessive individualism. In the end, nothing can interfere in our bubble, not even where our bubble overlaps with another, because we are gods. It divides us, and it is the reason why we think that we publicly own can be left without care and even destroyed by us, like a park bench or the globe itself. Destruction has become the true ultimate mark of ownership. Could we come up with structures that free us again as we lower our position from God to caretaker once more? Nothing speaks against it. If we become aware of the stories that bind us, when we get to know us, also known as thinking, Make a habit out of thinking. Turn thinking into a movement. Like, comment, and share. And as always, thank you, today more than ever, for gifting me with a few minutes of your most precious, your lifetime.